tour, and my counterpart minister in the presidency, Minister Mamaka, the Minister of Planning, Monitoring and Evaluation, and the government of South Africa, particularly the presidency, for hosting us with openness and generosity. We went on a very focused tour. We went to study proven systems that have been tested and best practices of how the South African presidency tracks the priority of their government. So this is in line with President Joseph Mamaka's Senior's vision of rebuilding the public institutions to make them accountable and responsive to what the people need. So the PDU has been revitalized, and we'll be doing just that. We'll be monitoring, we'll be tracking, and we'll be delivering results. During the study tour, we were particularly impressed by the level of coordination, professionalism, and how the data, real-time data was used for decision making, and how they focus on accountability. As we strengthen the PDU, we'll be committed to adopting the same principles. We're not going to do copy and paste, because obviously we know the different countries, but we're going to adapt what will fit our reality and our priorities. So we started a tour with the UNISA, that's the University of South Africa, and the UNISA is prepared. We met the Chancellor, Professor Pauline, and they are prepared to build capacity of our current PDU staff to bring them up to speed of where the PDU needs to be. And they're also prepared to partner with us to train our young people in the area of agriculture, engineering, mining, youth mining, and women in mining as well. Then the following day, we went to our host ministry, which is the ministry within the presidency, and we met Minister Mamaka. So we had the full layout of what the PDU, or what their Department for Planning, Monitoring, Evaluation is like. So we had a full day, full working session, and we understood, that you have 4 ministers in the presidency in South Africa. So you have the main minister, like you have Minister Grace here, the overall minister. Then you have my host minister, who's responsible for monitoring, evaluation, and tracking and delivery. Then you have another minister who's responsible for statistics. So any number, any figure that the president wants, she has it at her fingertip. And she also deals with the youth project as well. That's the youth service program. So they have a program in South Africa wherein every young person that leave high school, that is just being implemented, that they will spend at least 6 to 1 year doing youth service. They can go as a teaching assistant, they will work in the public sector or in the private sector. But there is a funding there that the government will give them stipend so that they can get used to working and earning. Some people, we listen to some testimonials. Some people, when they go for this training, they actually stay in that line and continue. So we're very happy to see that they have a minister that's in charge of that. And you have another minister that's in charge of gender, women's affairs, and the youth. Yes. So the president has a whole system within the presidency. Everything that's important to running the government is within the presidency. Then we move on to Statistics South Africa, where they track their population from birth to death and in between. So in the South Africa, Statistics South Africa, we particularly embrace or admire their poverty reduction strategy, and how they engage the youth unemployment. Because every month they visit 18,000 homes. So they engage directly with the population. So statistics South Africa do that. Then you have CETA. That's the State Information Technology Agency, the CETA. In the CETA, they have a very revolutionary system there. That's the presidential hotline. So the presidential hotline really brings delivery to the people, because you have people there. You have a whole room full of people with telephones, with dashboards all over the place. So you find out that people are not only calling to complain, but they call to compliment the government. They call to suggest on delivery. They call to complain as well, and they call for service delivery. So we were there, and somebody called and said, "Oh, the police hotline or the police emergency line is not working." So things like that. So the delivery is there. So when the call comes in, they want to answer the call in 5 seconds, and then they log in. You have a case number. They follow that right through and make sure that it's resolved. If it cannot be resolved in the room, it goes to the line ministry, or it goes back to the delivery unit, and someone sits down and look at it. They have a maximum of 25 days turnaround. I thought that was brilliant. And they also have the presidential frontliners that go into places like our president right now. He's supposed to be going for a county tour. These presidential frontliners will go ahead of him and find out what are the problems in these communities or in these counties. So they catalog it, they come back to town and sit down with the relevant agencies and try to find solution to it. So when the president gets there, he's not ambushed, and the people actually look at him as a hero. So everything that they're doing in South Africa is geared towards service delivery and how you make the population to have confidence in the presidency, in the government, and in delivery. Then we saw Cisco. Cisco is the agency, is the IT agency that is building the dashboard for the delivery unit in South Africa. So we were lucky to get a commitment from them. They're going to be visiting Liberia in the very near future. I'm not going to tell you when before it blows out. So they will be here in the very near future to work on what our needs are to be able to build our dashboard as well. So we did a lot. And finally, last but not the least, I can't go to South Africa without visiting the ANC. In 2016, we brought the ANC Women's League here, and this time when I went to the ANC and reopened the file to bring the Unity Party and the ANC together. What I learned and what we were particularly impressed with was how the ANC learned the hard way to bring the party along with them, because they were punished by the party because they dropped the party after the election, the last election. The party was dropped. And when they went to this election, they couldn't win. So they had to form a government of national unity. So they went back to the workshop and said, what did we do wrong? They realized that the party was left behind. They didn't bring the party along. So in our recommendation to the president, we want to bring the party in our delivery unit. We want them to be part of it so that they can add value to what we do. So we are here today. We return back home with a renewed sense of purpose to deliver, and to transform. And we will be seeking the support of all cabinet ministers who will present our report to the president and present to the cabinet and seek their support. Because in order for us to do this, in order for us to succeed, we need the support of the entire government. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much, Sylvester Chidople, work for the Spoon Network. I have two questions, and one is based on rumors while you were in South Africa. There was speculation that you went to South Africa to continue your engagement when it comes to the yellow machine. Did you engage anybody in South Africa as it relates to the issue of the yellow machine, perhaps to talk to people to come back in Liberia, to see how to be vetted as to how to operate on the yellow machine? That's one. Secondly, You went to South Africa. You also you were in the presidential range. Did you talk to any government officials, specific like minister, I mean, whoever? And were there any specific agreement between South Africa and Liberia officially?
Thank you, Sylvester. I will start with the second question. We were invited. I was invited by my counterpart, who is a minister within the presidency, Minister Mamaka. She's the Minister for Evaluation, Planning, Monitoring, and Evaluation. So everybody that we dealt with, they were all ministers, were all high level within the government. And we are going to be, the South African ambassador were actually part of this delegation. So we are planning on signing an MOU with the PDU and the different agencies of government in South Africa. And also with the whole thing about the yellow machine, I think this devalues what we actually went for. This was a very, very important mission, important study tour. For it to be smeared by yellow machine, I think it's a disservice to myself, to the government of South Africa, and to the delegation. And this whole yellow machine thing, I'm telling you, these are all the machination of people that want to manipulate and delay democratic development. You know, the story of Liberia is really is history. It repeats itself. That's what the same thing was done. The same reactionary forces that are in play today, they were in play a long time ago. It happened to E.J. Roy. So at the end of the day, there was a system that was thought about to bring in place, and this yellow machine thing. I mean, I'm not studying the yellow machine. I'm just a champion of the yellow machine, and it's not wrong to be a champion. Everybody in Johannesburg today, the president is a champion for Johannesburg. So no, I didn't go to bring anybody to be vetted or what. I went for this study tour, and that's what I concentrated on. The yellow machine will deal with itself.
Concerning about your study tour, I did see release from you while you were there. You visited UNISA, the University of South Africa, and other colleges. Did you go with somebody from the Ministry of Education or any higher learning institution? I mean, on your dedication to getting in contact with those university authorities, and I mean, like you said, have Liberian students going there and then share partnerships?
We didn't go with anybody from Ministry of Education. We didn't have to, because there is already an MOU between UNISA and the Ministry of Education. Our program was tailored around the PDU. So we have existing staff within the PDU that we want to train and build the capacity to be able to run the PDU. So that can be an addendum, or it can be part of the existing MOU between UNISA and the University of Liberia. So we didn't do anything new.
Madam Minister, my name is Kupo Sanga. My question is, this system, especially for the planning, monitoring, evaluation, how significant is it to our own governance system? And how soon do we expect the Ministry of State to have some implementation that we ourselves will have some benefit from that? And also the enforcement or the inclusion of the University of Liberia on this trip. What development did they need for the University of Liberia?
We didn't include, sorry, I'll start with the last one. We didn't include University of Liberia, but University of Liberia has an existing MOU with UNISA.
Okay.
So what we did was, we went there with a program for our PDU, because they run a distance learning program, so that they can devise a curriculum. Obviously, that would be that we will liaise with the university, Ministry of Education. But the main thing is to get them to agree to be able to set the distance learning program to build the capacity of our people. And what was the second question? Your first question again?
How significant is this?
Oh my goodness! You cannot say how important it is. We find delivery being delayed, and nobody knows what's going on. You will start a project and everything just sit down and nobody is following up. Basically, the PDU is not the police, but the PDU ensures that we deliver to the people. The results of this study tour, if we implement these revolutionary practices, something like the presidential hotline, the frontliners, you get them there. You bring the government to the people. They feel that someone is listening. If you sit in your room, or my grandmother can sit in your room, and in South Africa, they have 9 different languages. So anybody can call. Liberians can call, foreigners can call. My grandmother can sit there and speak Matingo and tell them, say, the government are facing the royal, they put a key and left the caterpillar on the road. They gone 2 months ago. You will not know when you up there in Bon County. But if you get this toll-free number that nobody has to pay for, and they can call and call on the line, and when they call on the line, directly it goes to the executive mansion. It goes directly to the executive mansion. So I think it improves service delivery to the people.
Yes, quickly, I'm just concluding here. The PDU, right, is very, very much important, like you are mentioning here. It has to do with statistics and getting things right, right? Did you already have a number of trained or people who to be trained in South Africa, or I want to know if you have specific number of people to go to South Africa to carry out